Welcome back to the North American NALCS. We're ready to head into Game 3 between Team Dignitas and Echo Fox, and I want to talk about Echo Fox some more because this is a team where the record right now says they're a playoff team. And everyone knows the story that they're pretty bad at closing out games. It takes them a long time and they give comebacks away. But the fact that they are consistently getting 5,000 to 10,000 gold leads against other NALCS teams is still very hard to do and something to credit them for.
Exactly. Frog and Looper have had strong laning phases. People give them credit for that. But even Keith and Gate had that strong laning phase last game, Acadian with the jungle pressure and Gate with a lot of roams. And Keith started the game with 5 kills. I mean, they have made those large improvements. And yes, they have that clear weakness of not being able to close games or necessarily control mid priority, set up Baron exactly the right way. But they overcame that last game, right? We can't hold it against them when they still won the game at the end of it.
Yeah, and the trap setup for Shrimp in the top jungle where they chunked him out and said, okay, there's no possible way he's in smite range. Let's rush down Baron. There's no way this can go wrong, and they were correct about that. So there were some good plays finally coming through. Shout out to the Phoenix One fidget spinners some more as Lod brings it in. It's my favorite thing of the day, really, other than casting League of Legends, is those coming around to pretty much all the players here.
We see LCS every weekend. This is the first day we've had Phoenix One fidget spinners.
Exactly.
So something new.
Gigantic improvement. Maybe one day they'll even win some matches. But right now, though, Team Dignitas, that was harsher than I wanted it to be, but I'm okay with it. Meanwhile, Team Dignitas, to their credit, they had that really good comeback in Game 1. We talked about mid lane control. They'd actually done something nice in coming back there. And they had held on a little while. You saw the gold graph start tapering in that previous game. Problem is they are still having kind of catastrophes of early games, giving away a lot.
Yeah, and that's what they need to improve on. I mean, I thought the analyst desk touched on it well. They tried to kind of exploit Echo Fox's weakness there by saying, what if we just pick the latest of the late games and then there's no way we can lose unless we lose catastrophically early, which they did. They were 10,000 gold down pretty much before 20 minutes into the game. So I think if you're trying to kind of pick a favorite coming into this Game 3, if you're rooting for Echo Fox, you're more towards, man, they're smashing the early game, and more towards Dignitas of them being able to pull out crafty late game decision making. So dependent on the draft, if you get close team compositions as far as scaling, I would actually favor Team Dignitas a little bit because I didn't see enough out of Echo Fox of their ability to close games from close in that game, because with a lead as big as they had, it should have been an easy close, and it wasn't.
Yeah, they did close it out, though. We're going to see what happens here as we go into the final game of the final match of Week 3 of the North American LCS. LeBlanc continues to be removed from Froggen's champion pool. The red side, the Zac ban continues as normal, and the Caitlyn off the table. Even though Law did fail to win with it, they don't want to let Keith get it either.
Yeah, I can see not too much changing in the bans. Obviously, the Caitlyn coming through in the ban phase makes sense. Didn't get to see the Super Energizer Caitlyn turn on at the end there. Almost, though.
You would get all the way there, and I believe we have the exact same bans as the very first game of the series, so new looks here on this one as Team Dignitas going to first pick the Xayah. So the triple marksman ban, if you consider it, into the Xayah first pick, trying to remove some more options away from Keith that we did opt into the Varus last game with, I believe, Xayah available. Didn't fit the comps or whatever. It's going to be Lod playing that champion here.
Yeah, and this might be a little bit of a call onto Gate to say, hey, you either pick Rakan without the synergy or you give us both, because that's the only option they really have here. And they decide to go against the duo.
Yeah, they're not going to rush for it just yet. Acadian continues the trend of, if you can give me first round at least, please do so. And to his credit, he has had successful after successful after successful early games on this champion. So that part of champ select is working. Shrimp back on his trademark Lee Sin, one of his better champions. And there is the Vistallion duo in the bot lane for Lod and Big.
Yeah, I really like that duo for them. Big makes big plays on it, even when they had it with the Kalista, and I think it's amplified with this duo. The one thing, though, is the Kalista was actually really good for Lod. I think that's the most damage I've seen him do in a game this split for sure. It was the tops on the team and carried a lot of those late game fights. Have not seen that out of his Xayah.
Right, there's still games to be played. We are having longer ones in this series, so Xayah does tend to scale pretty well, especially if you are cutting back. Thrush can be the final lock-in here in this first round, so we have mirrored roles here in this one. A junglers and bot laners together, both solos up, and you expect that to be a blind top lane into top mid, and then Froggen getting counterpick at the end.
Yeah, I do feel like the patch 7.11 meta has kind of settled itself out, especially even just in the roles the coaches prefer to pick. Pretty safely power picking junglers right now. There's not too many bad jungle matchups right now since it's Elise and Lee Sin. I mean, it's tale as old as time since they've been in the league since 2013, pretty much. And Thresh is even back, so like just generic stuff you can pick early on.
Right.
And it's all coming down to the solo lanes.
We'll see what comes in to texture these. Orianna, Fiora still off the table. Talia away from Froggen. We'll see what the final ban ends up being. This time, no Ahri. Even though Ahri was used to counterpick Orianna previously. Both those are gone from the Game 1 comps. Let's see what they go for. Renekton is up there. Counterpicked by Rumble last time.
Yeah, and this series has been notably absent with Gragas.
Yeah.
It was a super priority in all the COG games this week, and in most other games, it's almost always, it was very close to 100% pick ban as well, and it's just been flat up ignored in this series because they're opting for either the Renekton's or the hard carries in the top lane, and they're just not going with that guy.
And Galio also a bit unseen, who's also been a very popular top lane tank, so we aren't really seeing top lane tanks in this one. I guess both teams with Someday and Loop would rather have them play on fighters and have them be a bit more dynamic. Cassiopeia, another blind pick mid lane for Keen. Thinks it'll go well for him. They need one final champion. What will face the Renekton? Will it be Rumble like in the previous games? We have 3 straight Rumbles. And it's going to be the Gragas, hey! And
Froggen will play Galio!
Yeah!
Almost.
Or Yasuo!
Yeah,
I always like the biggest super animated when the final lock-in is in. Like they grab Camille and he's like, yeah, Camille! It's like, that's going to Someday. It's like, yeah, Gragas, that's also going to Someday. You're playing with Khan, you need to chill out. Victor's going to be the mid lane pickup here. Victor into Cassiopeia, another somewhat ancient mid lane LCS matchup here into this one.
Yeah.
I don't think Victor is all of that strong in the general sense, just as a general champion. I think it's great in Illusion, but a little surprised to see it in a mage-mage matchup, personally.
Yeah, I don't like it into Cassiopeia, but then you also have to consider the alternatives. LeBlanc, Ahri, Talia, Orianna, all banned away. Anivia is something I feel like Froggen may have banned himself from picking in the LCS since they lost a lot of games with it.
Good news is this Corki buff's in 7-12, and it seems pretty effective, so maybe that'll be back in Froggen's champion pool as high damage safe champions and have the option of going in, but it doesn't matter here in this one because Champ Select is done for the final game of the week. You can see those lineups on your screen right there. Echo Fox in the red. And those are the 5 champions there. Team Dignitas in blue on the left-hand side of the stage, ready to go for who can take this one down. Does Team Dignitas stay in that tie for first place with, I believe, just Counter Logic Gaming? I think maybe Immortals. I forget if they're 5-1. I think they are. So a 3-way tie for first place is available for Team Dignitas to join Counter Logic Gaming and Immortals, or can Echo Fox drag them down to the giant tie for third at 4-2, joining in with, I think it was TSM and a couple of other squads here to this one. Echo Fox, again, having a pretty good split for themselves, and we'll see if they can close out this series or if it will be Team Dignitas.
Yeah, and some standard matchups in this series. Interested to see how Someday's Gragas plays. We've seen a lot of disengage and macro map type of plays in this series so far because people haven't really played the true tanks that really look for the team fights. But right here, Team Dignitas, Gragas, Cassiopeia, Xayah Rakan, Lee Sin, all these things can work very well in a standard team fight.
We'll see what they get for themselves as we are onto the rift for this final game of the week. Froggen on the Victor, hoping to be that in this game. Doran's Ring Potion's pretty standard here. Keen on the Cassiopeia. More cleanse for him. Same for Froggen here. And as far as Team Dignitas is concerned, Cleanse is going to get rid of Varus as well as Thresh Hooks and Elise Cocoons. As far as Echo Fox, it's Xayah Roots and I guess Rakan Charms, but there's a little bit less to cleanse against Team Dignitas, but still decent with the Cassiopeia and things like this.
I do actually like Cleanse into Rakan. A lot of times QSS actually doesn't work great against it because the Grand Entrance is going to be a knock-up, and then the Quickness is going to be a charm right after.
Yeah.
So the QSS, oftentimes, you're going to QSS one, get hit by the other, or wait too long to use it. But Cleanse, because it has 65% CC reduction for the next 3 seconds after using it, if you just use it right away, kind of get rid of the airborne effect, then the Quickness is only going to be like a third of a second charm on you, and you can get away.
Yeah, so we'll see if that comes out and pays off for Froggen here in this one. Certainly Victor can do plenty of damage. We'll see if that comes in. Stoneborn Pact on Thresh. We see it sometimes. I don't like it because Thresh is ranged. You only get half value off of it. It tends to be better to have Courage of the Colossus and be a frontliner, but it's still up for debate. 5% health is going to happen regardless. Acadian, they're going to be invaded upon. And this could be pretty nice for Someday and Keen. Actually not getting that much done as Acadian getting some of this. The barrel, what will it kill? Looks like actually nothing. It'll just help his opposing jungler. Oh, he gave one away. Acadian could have seen the barrel. He gave away one of them.
Yeah, he just needed to stop damage for a little bit. This slows him down even more. And also, considering the fact that Acadian has done the Experience Quint Do Raptors, do Red,
Whoa.
do Scuttle Crab level 3.
How about one camp into the gank? He lands the Q under the turret, he goes! Oh no, Shrimp is gonna lose his life, but first blood still comes through in favor of Keen. You gotta say word over Team Dignitas.
Yeah, goes all in on that one, and because they get the first blood and because their mid laner gets to stick around, it gives them the advantage for now. And Acadian...
He's got cleanse though.
Yeah, Acadian should just go and pick up some of those minions that are gonna die to the turret.
Yeah, he'll get XP, and that's worth more than a camp would have been.
So many level 2 ganks from the Lee Sin lately. Just get that war jump while the mid laner's still level 1. Mid laners have been getting pretty cheeky with their trades in the early game. Just getting the war jump makes the Q very easy to land. High success rate, I'd have to say, on the level 2 ganks I've seen lately, but does trade the kill back, which isn't always what you want.
Oh, Hook's gonna land onto the marksman, but a nice double knockup though means the trade goes pretty well. They've got the, look at those feathers, good damage onto Keith back there. Law forced to kite out with Ignite on him. And in terms of talking about the total value of that mid lane gank, of course, in the very early game, you do not get full assist pool. So it was not a full 200 assist gold first blood to Shrimp, but still obviously meaningful. It's still positive gold. The question is how well can you farm on the backside of this one?
Yeah, and how much does it set Shrimp back? Because early jungle advantage is incredibly valuable, whether it's from a camp clearing perspective or a vision perspective. And what we saw here is Acadian actually took the Raptors away from Shrimp, which is relatively impactful, and then can still go for that delayed blue buff. So Acadian, it's kind of on him to punish, because Froggen did all he could, trading the kill back and making sure to really pay for that gank. Now he's just got to pay it forward.
Well, Acadian's got XP right now, so we'll see how much more he can pay forward on this one. Echo Fox is a team pretty much equal in gold, so have farmed enough to make up for this. Small farm lead to someday. And with a ward for Looper, he's probably okay against this one. Takes a body slam, but not taking too much damage. Doran Shield helps, obviously, and top lane is basically equal. The bot lane is the real major lead, though. Keith is absolutely blasting this lane right now with the Varus Thresh. Credit to both those players, of course, but they're doing well against Laud and Big.
Yeah, even with the Ignite being burned early, still able to have the aggressive support against the Rakan. A lot of LCS players saying that's a pretty good matchup whenever you can kill threat the Rakan early.
Slice and dice forward, plenty of damage here onto this one. Looper not going for the stun or anything, just going to keep his rage bar up, but Shrimp is nearby, and well, with Someday out of mana, there's no CC threat, and it lets Looper play with not a lot of care. Acadian can see Shrimp, but the same comes through. Almost lands that one. Probably wouldn't have won the fight regardless.
Yeah, and Shrimp, you could see him wanting to pull off that gank early. Actually, Shrimp has done a pretty admirable job of farming back up. Actually has a gold lead onto Acadian, even though Acadian got both Raptor camps. Hasn't farmed much outside of that.
You can go to see what's up next for this one. Someday gonna, oh, he gets the cannon. Perfect. All right, body slam. Kept the crowd in suspense, but he made it happen. Nice mechanics here.
I feel like somebody's done this before.
Wow, that was actually incredible. Got actually every single one.
Yeah, really good considering it was at weird levels of health on a lot of the minion wave too. Triple Thorns does help make your rank 3 barrel roll do a ton of damage. I think already that barrel roll is doing close to 300 damage, even at rank 3 if he leaves it full charge. Because it's going to be 199 damage and then 50% more damage if you leave it till the full charge.
Which makes it already 300.
There we go. 290.
8.5.
Yeah.
But yes, essentially we're there.
You rounding freak, you gotta be careful.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna call you out.
Looper gonna land the giant stun. Trade back out and run away. Oh, that barrel did 199 damage before magic resist.
Yeah, now quick, tell me how much it does with 49 MR. If it was 50, you'd be able to do it fast.
Yeah,
but
it's
the 49
roughly
messes
2/3, slightly round down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, close enough here in this one. Oh, that's nice. They kind of buffer the stuns against each other. Trading back and forth still. Looper has no mana, but it doesn't matter because he's Renekton. Doesn't have mana. Doing well for himself. Someday is standing up with the Triple Thorns ring without many issues. Gets the cannon. Perfect gameplay.
Yeah,
Korean top.
You really don't get to see much when you're playing Renekton versus Gragas unless someone's coming to join.
But the spectators kept showing us.
Hey,
so we kept casting it.
These guys are really good.
They are really good.
We were freaking out over the CS.
That's true. It was actually completely
They're
relevant.
winning the game in CS.
Wow. Most skilled players in League of Legends. Who's surprised that they're Korean? Beautiful play out of Looper, and Someday pops all the fervor stacks, then kites right back out and dodges the barrel. Looper is a perfect human being.
All right.
Keen up for CS. I don't know, that's a bit aggressive, I know. I don't know where that came from exactly, but it's okay. Someday. Good ward, though. I like that, by the way. You notice that he didn't ward just, like, the random brush in next to his lane, like that tri-brush there. That's the lazy ward that's actually not helpful at all unless your opponents are bad. You actually need to ward somewhere deeper to watch the roam in. Yep. The one over the wall there, for example, saw Acadian, and he's got a lot more control of whether he's going to gank or not.
True.
Look at that. Cocoon in the face, though. 300 health left on Shrimp. There's the poison as well. But he's got backup from Froggen, so all is going to be okay in that one. A quick safeguard to get the shield across. Back to farming goes Shrimp.
Keen could have gotten his miasma down. It may have threatened a little bit more of a kill, but basically Froggen being there at level 6 made sure nothing much was going to be doing there.
Lost the cannon, but they find the root. A lot of damage there. The knock coming back across, though, but look at all the feathers coming across. Now Lod forced to kite back out, but the hook's going to land in a big piercing arrow used on a Lod. Zona heal maybe a bit preemptive. Big was basically full health right there, but Lod hits the button anyway. Keeps the health bar big, and out they go. Now Keen threatened to be dove by Froggen, kites away from the laser.
Gotta say, questionable flash forward by Keith in that trade right there while they were fighting. I think he was trying to get out of the Rakan CC, but ended up flashing a few inches forward. If they caught that, because there was a lot of chaos there, if they saw that he actually flashed forward, then that's very real return gang possibility once both Big and Lot hit 6, because Big still has his flash.
Big, there's a coin behind you. It's worth 20 gold or something. It's right there. Yeah. Oh, it's like practically a cannon minion. Okay, it's actually a melee minion. But
how long do they stay on the ground?
I actually have no idea. I've literally never bought coins since it came out because I only play Bard. Okay, timed out. He lost it.
Yep.
Unlucky. Life is pain. He's gonna miss out on that potion of skill a little bit sooner.
Yeah, true.
Equal gold though in this game. He's gonna be okay for himself. Sightstone in for Big. Same here for Gate. He's got his boots, the same as the opponent. BF sword plus the dagger though. Lod maybe a stronger damage power spike, but sustained for Keith should feel pretty good on this Varus. Pretty similar recalls either way. Keen keeps it standing back up. Honestly, it's been pretty equal laning phases, and after the earlier skirmishing, it's Acadian. Oh, that's so smart. Cue the brush before you face check in. Make sure someone's not there. Smart choice by Big. He could have died.
Would have been very dangerous. That's exactly what Acadian wants, is people to face check brush early game on Elise with the incredible burst damage. Not happening yet, and it's pretty much just a farm fest. Very reminiscent of Game 1, actually, where we got a ton of early game CS, a little bit more aggression in the bottom lane that we saw. Obviously, the early game gank throws it off, but as far as just generally people sticking to their lanes and doing their best to just kind of split farm and go in and out of farming patterns, very reminiscent. And I think that favors Team Dignitas a little bit here.
Yeah, exactly, because EchoFox has normally gotten major leads, and it's been usually Acadian getting sick ganks off. This time around, he hasn't gotten that. Just been, as you said, trading farm with Shrimp. Bot lane, still a bit of pressure, but the farm is actually getting bled back. Even though they're getting the push lead, Lod should be able to tie up in CS numbers at the end of this wave here. Actually might be up 1 at the end of it all. So props to Team Dignitas for coming back into this one, despite taking a couple of bad trades. And not having the same sustain. Someday looks at the mid lane, but Froggen kites down to the bottom side of the lane. He's going to be fine. Very aggressive control ward put down. That likely was a misclick. And Big, actually, trying to play around the fact that that ward can't see him. Just now will kill it. He doesn't give Lod the last hit for the 10 free gold. Unlucky.
Doesn't want to get revealed. I think that would work.
Yeah, he shouldn't get seen.
It reveals the attacker, not the spot where the ward is.
Yeah, so he should not have been seen, so he's actually slinking around there. That's actually a pretty cute play, but Acadian waiting in the exact mirror of the location. Froggen looks to maybe go in, but doesn't want to give away that Acadian's nearby. Shrimp gonna try for round 2. Here comes the all-in. The ulti's been burned. Here comes the attack from Froggen. Flashes away, and a big whip on the Cocoon, but looking for Keen. Jumps away from the petrifying gaze and gets delivered to the turret, and Keen gets the kill. That kick from Shrimp was nearly a sacrifice, but it works out in the end. Nicely played. Team Dignitas get the kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's also exactly what they needed to do as well. The kick locks him out of being able to do any damage while he's flying towards the turret, and then Keen doesn't necessarily panic and just keeps dealing damage. So cute start to that, honestly, when they were trying to bait him into the brush, decide to go with it anyway, and still come out on top with the kill. Miasma delayed Froggen's escape for a while. The teleport does have them fall out, and Acadian thought he had the kill for sure, but never gets the execute onto Keen.
He used it earlier. It was actually part of his initial damage combo. He was down to auto attacks at the end, and you can't just do 500 damage into a turret like that, so good kick by Shrimp. They made it all happen. Health bar a little bit too high. Well played to the Team Dignitas mid lane duo. 2-0 now on Keen. Wasn't a major factor so far in this series, but doing much better here into this one with the early lead. high-intensity top lane fight. They both take some damage, then heal it all back up. Except Looper's at half now, so we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, early Glacial Shroud as well.
Yeah, you assume that's more likely to be Iceborne Gauntlet if he needs to fight his opponent. Or it's Frozen Rod if he wants a team fight. It's basically the kind of consideration there.
Yeah, and I think that someday is going to team fight here, because even if he gets Iceborne, I don't think he's winning the 1v1 in Renekton. But with the Frozen Heart, there's no way Renekton's going to kill him, so...
Ooh, a sick hook though. The CC is there onto the Flay, onto the box damage, but here's the Charm knockup. Big Feather Storm comes across, but Keat kites away from it. Not a lot of damage coming through for Lot, and then gets the Lantern back. Really like how they played that. He ran away from the Feathers and took a Lantern back anyway. Getting away from a lot of that damage.
Although I think the callback still hit Keith because there were enough feathers just randomly sitting around, so he got the root off. Yeah,
just less total damage from less feathers hitting him. But yes, you are absolutely right. The root still did land from the prior engagement. Top lane priority, though, has been going to Looper the entire game. He's been pushing forever, and this time he's got a Acadian to make sure the turret can go down, but it's going to be a race against Team Dignitas. Doing something similar as Shrimp joins the fray, and the question is who kills it first. It's likely to be Echo Fox. The call comes in.
Clear.
Oh, it's going to go to Shrimp by about half a second. It's actually Team Dignitas getting a bit more damage into that one.
And Someday's ultimate clinched it. He knocked them back from auto-attacking for a few seconds.
Beautiful.
Clutch.
Absolutely clutch. Very smart play right there.
See, this is why I actually really like Someday on tanks. For Team Dignitas.
He's really smart.
Yes, he's able to carry, but he's going to try and do just enough to give you that edge to victory, and then the team fights are just so much easier with tanks. We'll see if it pays off for them right there, but a little play like that gives them essentially, what is it, 700 gold extra?
Yeah, it's a 700 gold swing. 350 goes one way, not the other.
Yeah, 700 gold swing.
It denies 350 and it gives you 350 back. It's a swing of 700. So yeah, you were right, chat. I believed in you the whole time. Rift Herald, though, this one will go pretty early to Echo Fox. A little bit of an early smite, but they got it. Bit of a knockup. They should still get the Eye of the Herald buff without any issues, but he's standing on top of the Lantern, and Acadian can't get out for now. Here comes the re-engage. Shrimp picks off Gate. Back down to Earth goes Acadian, now back down to the graveyard. He's been picked off. 2-for-0. Team Dignitas win the fight, despite the Herald going over to Echo Fox.
Yeah, now they can push mid. Froggen does have the Hex Core upgrade, but he's really low on mana and has no ultimate. So if they can threaten anything in the backside, he wouldn't be able to clear that minion wave. Gotta be close.
We're down to half right now, and the damage comes through.
Got an E off.
All right, cleared the wave away. Right now, though, it's a 1,300 gold lead for Team Dignitas, and Shrimp looking for even more. Didn't have Q, so he ward hopped into the Krug pit just to make sure he can kill him faster.
Watch this one more time. Big locks up Acadian for quite a while. They never really let him get to that Lantern. And then the rest of the fight, Keith isn't there. So Lot and Big being there make it pretty free for them to just kind of boldly run into the fight.
It went well for them. We'll see if Echo Fox can pick up the scraps here as the gold lead actually stretched to 2,000 briefly, as they've got minion waves to secure and some minions and farm to acquire. See what they can get out of this one. Of course, you expect a turret to go down if you get proper Rift Herald usage. Top lane's already dead, but you feel like mid lane's a possibility with Froggen having a lot of power. And also, bot lane is almost deserted half the time now. It's kind of a, someone shows up, clears 2 waves, walks away, repeat back and forth. You show up a Rift Herald there, you maybe get the turret down with it. Maybe you can go there. Acadian, of course, has free roam being the jungler. Slower start this game around. Early Ninja Tabby to survive some of the physical damage, but this time it's not so cut and dry as both Someday and Keen are magic damage focused. There's 2 magic threats.
Yeah. It's pretty tricky to itemize against either one of these teams. There's pretty good balance of damage from both team compositions. A lot of good team fights starting by the team compositions as well. And then it's been Echo Fox who's generally held the early games in this series. And Team Dignitas, who, you know, last split had a lot of issues closing games as well because it was pretty much just Someday who was getting ahead. But in these situations, we know Shrimp can make plays. We know Big can definitely go and make plays on Rakan. So they're sitting pretty right now as long as they can continue the trends that we have seen from them so far in this split.
And the Dignitas now with a gold lead for the first time, practically all series, to be honest. Maybe the first time they've actually had up in gold for the last 2 hours of gameplay. Actually proactive on the map. They're going first for top lane. They get that outer turret taken down. Rift Herald does get summoned here by Acadian on the bot side of the map, but it's still slower than the Team Dignitas push was. The question is, can they get tier 2? That's likely if no one shows up. And you can see the Vestayan duo, Lot and Big, heading to the bot lane to counteract this.
Yeah, Keith would want to go for tier 2, but he has no wards in the spot. They even had a really nice deep Farsight totem that Keith placed to know whether or not he could finish that because he was watching them run out of the base. So credit to Keith there.
He gets that one, only gets half the turret damage here, and someday gonna get cocooned! He didn't see Acadian was coming. That's going to be a dead Gragas. Has flash. Gonna body slam away for a bit more time, clear some waves out, but he's going to drop for this one. So a kill picked up for Echo Fox brings it a bit closer. 1,700 the difference.
Yeah,
mid lane under fire.
Didn't really catch why he was so late on that recall. Definitely got a...
I think he stayed for more waves to push. That's just Lot and Big were going to defend. Didn't realize Acadian was coming.
Gotta say that's a misplay by Sunday. Either way, they're trying to keep the waves managed. One thing that Echo Fox can do a lot better with the Victor is keep mid lane priority better than they did in games 1 or 2. Yeah. Because it's so easy for him to just clear the wave with one spell.
We'll see if that can keep happening. It's certainly going to be faster than what Cassiopeia can do, so that'll help Echo Fox a little bit throughout this mid game. We'll see what comes up next. 2 minutes under that till Mountain Drake comes up. 2 minutes until the Baron Nash respawns, though it's without either team having a major lead, unlikely to be killed before 30. Look at the play on Keen, not going to find that just yet. Just still playing for the wave clear back and forth. And we'll see when things start to come through. Shrimp waiting in the wings in the mid lane, but you can see Froggen hugging his control ward to make sure he's safe. That's always correct, to play to the side of the vision, or the side of the lane where you are less likely to be ganked from. When you have a ward, you're not likely to be ganked from there.
Yep. Smart play, as usual, by Froggen in the laning phase. Been so dominant this year.
The aggressive push in the bot lane. Lot is actually well past the river. He's going to shove a wave into tier 2. And that's without vision, actually. There's not a lot of safety for him. He's not going to get punished for it, but it's usually a bit tricky to go that high up. Going to be fine with it. Big says, I don't want to join you. You go back to the base. I'm going to hang out with the Scuttle Crab.
Pretty dangerous, too. I mean, as you mentioned, they just warded where he recalled from right after he got out of there, but they typically get away with it and continue to scale up here. No timer necessarily on Team Dignitas for playmaking, but I do think the Mountain Drake will be extremely beneficial to them in this instance, mainly because of the Cassiopeia and how much faster that even makes the Baron with Cassio, who already takes it in near an instant.
We'll see what comes through. Mountain Drake up in 15 seconds, and Team Dignitas are the team with the map control. They've already got the Cloud Drake for themselves. Mountain maybe not a far cry away. See what happens next up here. Mid lane getting cleared back and forth, and lanes being switched around. Froggen now is going to take the top side of the map, so he's nowhere at all interested in being near this Mountain Drake. Shrimp going to solo it with probably not even a glance from Echo Fox.
Yeah, really good, actually, sneaking in the back. Echo Fox not really caring about the Mountain Drake in this game. Probably don't necessarily feel like they're at that point yet where they can fight. Looking at Froggen's build, just Sheen and an upgraded Hex Core, not a big threat in team fights when compared to the Cassiopeia right now. So potentially the right call to let it go, but Team Dignitas smartly go for it almost immediately.
Yeah. Froggen's build's kind of interesting because Sheen and Phoenix Codex don't build into anything together. Now, they are both CDR items, and if he really wants cooldown reduction, then, hey, you've now got 30 from items, and that's really good. Usually with runes, you hit 40 by the end of the game.
Right.
I don't think he meant to go Ether with. I think he just wanted a CDR burst to get some good damage on a Shrimp, and now got to fight for the blue buff.
Yeah, it could be true.
It's interesting. It's atypical.
When you have the upgraded Hex Core, the CDR scales super, super well because you're always refreshing that move speed over and over again. But yeah, I agree with you. This is not normal from most Victors. I think you either go completely Sheenless and just into the full AP route when you're staying really far away, or you go Lich Bane quite early where you're planning on being a little bit more short range and trying to burst people up very quick. So trying to split his...
Oh, Jake gets caught out there, pops up, and there's the damage up from the brush, and they finally get the play. Keith, again, finding the big Varus ults to engage the fights.
Yeah. Alt Flash is his new favorite thing because he seems to do this all the time when he plays Varus. Gets the pick, but can they do something with it? I mean, it's 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Normally when you get a pick, you move towards Baron. They have control wards, but they do not have very good Baron killing.
Yeah, they don't right now. So the question is what's going to happen during this one, because there's still enough wards from Team Dignitas that it's not a sneak just yet. You can see that blue trinket ward right there. Echo Fox back in the mid lane this time. They are going to at least match the minion waves. This time around, they've now got 20-second window between this wave dying and the next one showing up. Not going to lose much here. Looper gets the last hit. Froggen gets spotted. And now it is Fog of War, and Echo Fox can threaten a Baron rush and try to bait them in. So there's the trinket usage. It's actually 3 blue trinkets from Team Dignitas.
And what is Someday doing? He's stealing blue right now. You need the tank to check that Fog of War, but they're going to get away with it. Now they have a ton of pressure, so... I mean, EchoFox didn't know that Someday was completely missing, which is why they were kind of respecting it. But that was an incredibly dangerous situation for Someday to just sit up blue.
And Team Dignitas able to stay in the mid lane means mid priority, means they have the waves, mean mid lane turret falls, despite that EchoFox was playing without a Gragas being anywhere near them.
Yeah.
And it is Team Dignitas get a blue steal, get a mid lane turret, get to delay the Baron, and get more gold out of the entire situation.
Yeah, I mean, Someday had teleport, but there were no wards to teleport to. All they could do was throw in Farsight totems or face check. And, I mean, they got away with it. They had, once again, mid lane priority, so they're checking through a very small area where they weren't expected to necessarily get picked off, and they knew the Verisalt was down. So another a lost trade by EchoFox, even though they are the ones that originated it with the pick onto big.
And it's interesting seeing team and player play styles, because Someday's playing the same way he was on Camille, which is his extended split pushing. He's staying by himself a lot longer, prioritizing his farm, prioritizing his pushes, saying, don't worry, I'll TP and join you. And Looper, this time actually on the better split push for Armonectin, and is still the one proactively joining the team, saying, we'll go for the play together. Now that's probably an EchoFox call, saying let's do something together as 5. But in this case, the champions don't suit that as the primary play style, but it is still the way they're playing, just like in the last game.
Yeah, because Someday's at a point right now where I think you're peaking as Gragas. When you have the high CDR build, your base damages are there, and people haven't built Void Staffs or Last Whispers to cut through your huge resistances and self-healing. So I think Team Dignitas should be looking to teamfight around now. They even have the Static Shift Power Spike on Tazaya, but Someday just chilling over in that side lane. Maybe we see a TP play sometime soon if EchoFox tries to push up.
Maybe eventually. Want to point out, Big did complete his support quest a little while ago, so level 10 will be rank 2 quickness. That's kind of nice for him right there. He basically can pretend he's level 10 aside from base stats and trinket usage, but he got that one already anyway. And that'll be a little bit nice thing for him as we continue on looking for a bit of a play. Control ward's going to be fought for and traded back and forth. Team Dignitas now have Fog of War lead around this Baron pit. Verissalt's going to land on a Shrimp and is going to hook in the support. Good damage into Big, who jumps right back out, and the Chaos Storm is in, but doesn't find a lot of damage. Just a little bit of chips onto the Team Dignitas support right now. Not a lot gained. Someday has joined the team a little bit here. Hasn't found much to do yet, though.
Yeah, had to body slam over the wall on his approach, which is generally why Keith actually ulted, because he didn't think the counter engage from Someday would be able to be immediate. Now Looper might be waiting for a fight to break out, hoping to get a flank.
Let's see if he looks for it. He is trying to join instead of trying to split push, even though teleport is up. You think he'd want to be on the side, but he's not.
Cassiopeia Mountain Drake right here, and there's the Gragas that can keep them away.
They're trying to rush it down. No blue trinkets available. The damage still coming through on a Baron. 2,000 health. No one's in range to steal. Here comes the shot. It's going to go over to Shrimp way too quickly. Now the two-man knockup. The follow through the roof. The damage of 2 kills already. And Team Dignitas absolutely slaughtering EchoFox now. Gate left alone. Jumps over the wall. He's got Froggen near him. An explosive cast. Takes him down 4-0. Only Froggen stands.
What a turn there by Team Dignitas, dancing back and forth around the mid lane for so long, and then making an incredibly decisive call. Someday as well, clutching at the end of that team fight, but mainly it's the Cassiopeia Mountain Drake and the confidence to go for that play.
And they're going to now look for the 2-on-1 against Froggen as the rest of the team pushes elsewhere. Chaos Storm is back up thanks to the CDR, but he's now out of mana, and the kills should be coming through despite the minion lane being kind of annoying. He's out of spells. The kill comes in. Another shield comes through for Courage the Colossus. The mid lane inhibitor will fall as well. And this, EchoFox, is what a team does with a gold lead. Significantly faster shot calling. Team Dignitas doing so much with it.
Yeah, contrast the Baron plays of the two teams. In this game alone, EchoFox ends up losing a mid lane turret off of their dance. This is what Team Dignitas' dance gives them. 2 instant kills onto the Elise and the Varus. No chance in the team fight for EchoFox as they pile in right as the Baron falls, and a delayed ace plus the inhibitor. That's about as perfect as you can get your result to be for a 24 or 25 minute Baron rush.
8,000 gold up at 26 minutes, and it's likely to close out in the next 4 here as Team Dignitas have all the advantages they need. They've got an Ocean Drake ready for them if they want to get more. But you wonder what their actual objective is going to be. Looks like Laud and Someday will take this one down, but the rest of the team ready to move forward a little bit elsewhere. Looks like it'll be pressure towards the bottom side of the map right now as they're joining the rest of the reinforcements from this Ocean Drake attempt. Gate's got his quest done as well. That's the shield around him. Yeah. A little poke back and forth.
And also, for comparing what you do with an 8 or 10,000 goal lead from Game 2 with EchoFox to Game 3 with Team Dignitas, the team composition actually factors into it pretty heavily. They have a tank initiator, which is something EchoFox was critically lacking in the last game due to their style of team composition. Now someday, with this Gargoyle Stone Plate, Frozen Heart, 250 armor, 2,500 health build, they can try and power down EchoFox's base.
Absolutely. And even Big is doing a good job of that one as well. Look for the play forward. Hook's going to buy some time, but suddenly pops the Stone Plate. Going to stay alive for this one. Damage now onto that bot lane inhibitor itself. The turret's already fallen. Double inhib down. We're only 27:30 into the game. Baron buff still on. Looking to close it out just now as the Renekton's still pushing. They get the charm. They get the knock up the airborne there. The kill, the root, and he's gone. Acadian is out 1 for 0. Gate cutting back. Explosive cast. Gets perfect. Finds another, but they do get a trade. Killers for Khan has fallen, but doesn't really matter. Looper's joined the fray. Big damage into this one, but Lot able to kite back so easily. Petrifying Gaze takes down a kill, and it's just now Shrimp going to go chase down in the front. That's the ace. That's the game, and it's all over. Team Dignitas. They needed a comeback to win in Game 1, but this one is a 28-minute slaughter as Team Dignitas will keep their first place tie. They will take down EchoFox 2-1, and they close out Week 3 at a 5-1 scoreline.
And what an explosive ending that was. 10 kills in the first 2 minutes of their Baron power play. They danced around a lot of the early game, and they were justifiably patient because Team Dignitas knew that with the Cassiopeia, with the tank, and with the way they can macro play around Baron, that they would be fine. And they absolutely execute down the stretch for the 28-minute win.
1, 2, 3,
Great plays out of Team Dignitas. You put something on a tank and it's their best looking game yet. It's interesting when you've got a player like this who's by many thinking to be him, many thinking that he is the best top player in the league. Why doesn't he play Fiora every game? Why doesn't he play Camille Renekton every game? When you put him on Gragas, and look how much better the games look. Of course, some of this was Acadian not getting the same early game from before. Shrimp had that level 2 first blood in the mid lane. Certainly this game went differently. But it brings up questions. If Team Dignitas have a good early game, look what their games look like.
Yeah.
And EchoFox don't, look what those do. Acadian's been kind of carrying them through a lot of their early games. This one, though, not the same impact.
Yeah, Acadian could not get going in this one. Shrimp with the quick level 2 gank onto Froggen. Didn't never let Froggen get going in the mid lane. Acadian unable to answer after Shrimp did die during that gank. And then it was just the stall fest for a while before Team Dignitas turned it on. Such a different team we see now than we did in the spring. Yes, 2 players are different as well. We have Big in support and also Shrimp in the jungle, but just the people who are leading the charge and making plays. Well, somebody did do it in the final fight, but other than that, Big flying forward on the Rakan. Shrimp flying forward on the Lee Sin, making kicks. And Chaser was a pretty good Lee Sin, but it's a sense of fearlessness you see with Shrimp that at least for now is paying off in a big way.
Absolutely, yes. So 5-1, a first place team right now. Still very strange that their one loss was to Team Liquid out of nowhere, right?
Yeah,
Team Dignitas.
That puts an asterisk right next to their first place tie right now.
I mean, it's like how people said TSM was 17-0 because Phoenix 1 was special. It's like somehow, like, by most rights, Dignitas should be undefeated right now after 3 weeks. You'd almost consider, and that's weird to say, like, the Liquid loss doesn't count. I know it's strange. I'm going to get some flame for that one, but, like...
Definitely counts.
It
I
definitely
understand
counts,
what you're going for.
But you understand what I'm going for,
you thought
right?
they would win that game.
They've beaten everyone they've come across basically here, and certainly it's you know, what a good run. And I'll bring back the soundbite from Spring Split, where Lod said, you know, I've had some, you know, medium skill teams before, but now Team Dignitas, everything's here for me. If I don't have a good split, it's just my fault now, because my teammates are so good. And this time around, it is a good split for everyone. They're all kind of performing very, very well. I agree. The upgrades of Shrimp and Big have been awesome for this squad, and it's working.
And you also have to consider that Lot is playing with even more pressure on him this split. Yes, he's on a successful team, but the team recently signed 2 other bot lane players with a lot of LCS experience, Alltech and Adrian. So Lot knows he needs to perform in every one of these games. He played great this series.
Absolutely did. So we're going to hear from more about this series. Let's send it over to Captain Flowers and Lot himself.
Nice chin. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm here with Lod, who, with the rest of Team Dignitas, is now sitting on a 5-1 record, tied for first place in the NALCS. Talk to me about how that feels and how you guys have progressed as a team since Spring Split.
It feels really good. This time last split, we were like 1-5, so we like swapped things around. We've done a lot of hard work. I think everyone is practicing really hard, and we've just had like a lot more synergy now. Big has a really loud voice on the team, and he's not afraid to get hyphy, which is really nice. So, yeah, it's going good so far.
Now, every time we see Big, he always seems so excited and so energetic on screen. What's it like, the synergy that you two have built up? You talked about the hard work and that coordination and that teamwork together. What about you two specifically in the bottom lane? What's making this work and click for Dignitas?
I think we work really well together because we don't take ourselves like too seriously. You know, like when we make mistakes, we're not afraid to call each other out on it, and I think that's really important to have in bot lane. And yeah, I don't know, he's actually like super energetic and hypey like all the time. Like what you see on screen is like how he is. So, you know, it's enjoyable to work with, and I really like him. Yeah.
Sounds like a fantastic team environment. Now, we mentioned you guys being 5-1 at the top of the NALCS standings. Now, that's not a lone crown that you hold. You currently share it with Immortals and with CLG2. How do you guys feel that you stack up compared to those teams? And what are you expecting, especially considering in the upcoming week, you are squaring off against Immortals?
I'm just really excited to play them. I mean, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I think we're all really good teams, like all three of us. And I think it'll just be like some really close matches. So I'm just excited for it.
All right, one last question specifically pertaining to that bottom lane. Once again, that's going to be you and Big going up against Cody, Sun, and Olay. And then eventually with CLG, you got Stixay and Afromu as well. How do the Dignitas boys compare to their opponents in the bottom lane?
I don't want to say anything too much right now because I don't have like the most confidence in my play, but I'm looking forward to it. They're both really good bot lanes. I think we're a really good bot lane, and I think it'll just be good. It'll be a good matchup. So yeah.
All right, good to hear it. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to Dignitas as a whole. We're going to go ahead, toss things back to the analyst desk or back to the casters or wherever we're going to be tossing. I believe it's the analyst desk for the final time today. Thanks, guys.
Where's it coming from?
Where is it coming?
Who's up next?
Captain Flowers,
is it the
where are
analyst
you?
desk?
Captain Flowers?
I think it's us. I think it's us, Mark.
Oh, hello.
you know what? I think it is. There it is.
Oh,
All
I see
right,
my
hey.
hand. Hey.
Good on Dignitas. That's how you close out a game there. Building up a nice little early lead. They find the right fight for them to get the Baron, and then with a single Baron buff, they close it out, getting business done as would be expected, moving to 5-1 at the end of week 3.
And I like what they did with the draft this time around. Instead of going like, let's go hyper late game because we're sure once we get there we'll win, why don't you just secure your early game so you don't have to worry about playing from a deficit, go into the mid game relatively even. And also someday on a tank, I know everyone wants to see like the best top laner in the league on a carry, but he's also one of the best tank players.
Yep.
Great to see him on Gragas against Renekton. Went completely even in a matchup that we saw. I think it was the FlyQuest series go horribly wrong for the Gragas. So good to see that he's just held on a lane phase, found some good engages later on, and they played the team situations out well.
I like that point around pivoting away from, like, yes, we're confident in our late game play and that if we were to get there, we could win the game. But hey, if we just match the opposing team's strength, get through that part of their gameplay, even in the mid game, we will win the late game just by virtue of being the better team in this situation. I want to jump into our replay here, waste no time, 25 minutes in, 4-0 off of a huge engage here by Big plus the Baron.
You see a huge flank. It's just a good call to melt it down as well with the Cassiopeia and the Mountain Dragon making that free. And then once you have it, you know, they're a little bit too late showing up. You get a nice stun. Follow up with the knockup.
Both him and Someday together. I
Yeah.
have to also call that just the synergy between the two of them to hit the same carries at the same time with both their flashes. Very
I mean,
key.
the flank is super important because a lot of teams struggle with flanking, but having that with the initiation coming in from the front side, you just kind of slam them from both directions at the same time, and then you get to get a couple kills.
Now let's go ahead and compare this gold graph to the gold graph from game 2. Where we had
the
that
little
kind of
heart rate monitor.
that little peter out, you know, with the nice early lead for Echo Fox that peters out. This is the exact opposite. Once Dignitas gets the lead, they close it out very quickly, very cleanly.
And I gotta say, I think Dignitas probably has the best Barons around the 20 to 25 minute mark. They're extremely.
When have we ever said that about
I know,
Team
this
Dignitas?
is new look Dignitas, man.
Oh my goodness.
And they're just super decisive. If you're not ready for it, they'll sneak them on you. They've done this numerous teams. They did the TSM amongst other teams. And then even after that, they're still really, really decisive in their team fighting too. So you have to be careful not only around the Baron if they're doing it, but if they're potentially baiting what their turnoff's going to look like.
Now, player of the game kind of matches the first point you made on the segment. Is going to go to Shrimp, but for his ability to kind of match Acadian in this game where he struggled with it in game 2. So kind of stepping up to that plate of knowing who's going to be the early action creator for Echo Fox. Can I match that and keep us even or ahead throughout the early game?
He's done a great job ever since he's been subbed in. Even the series that they lost to TL, he got subbed out in game 3 despite playing well in game 1. Game 2 was a little bit of a risky business because he kept going down bot lane and got turned a couple times, as well as that invade on an... Oh, that was Chaser actually who had the invade on the Olaf. So even more to the point that ever since he's come in, Shrimp has been doing great. And in this game as well, matching Acadian, who's kind of still in early game monster.
And now let's talk about Dignitas a little bit as a whole, because sitting at 5-1, up there tied for first in the league as a team, they still have a few of these series that definitely feel like they could have easily gone the other direction. Again, you don't want to see them slow bleed to death like they did in Game 2. You want to see more of these Game 3s out of them. So what's your assessment of them alongside, say, Immortals, who's up there in that top tier as well?
There's a bit of a question mark still for Dignitas for me. Their early game has been exploited a little bit. They still seem like they rely on Someday, and then they have these really aggressive Barons that have been working out. But if they ever slow down in that, or if it goes past that mark where you're starting to go to the 30-35 minute Baron, it does feel like they lose a little bit of steam.
Okay.
So I would want to see them against some of the better teams performing, and next week for them is pretty tough. I believe they have Immortals and C9, I believe. But if that's going to be your really make or break week where you prove your mettle.
Well, and then, okay, so then referencing, the interview that we just had with Laud, he himself kind of speaking about his own confidence, a little bit of reservation there. Well, funnily enough, if you contrast that to the way that he spoke when he came into the league, definitely a little bit more reserved and humble in his response this time around, even while the team is finding success.
I mean, you have someone signed to back you up just this week. You're probably going to be a little less brash in your talk.
That's a good point.
You have Alltech coming in to back him up, as well as Adrian coming in for support. So there's a couple extra people joining the team. You're probably not going to go around running your mouth quite yet.
Right, exactly. But the wins are coming through for Team Dignitas. That's going to close out that series. Now let's go ahead and pull up the player of the game leaderboards to see who individually excelled in Week 3. Hanser, Jensen, and Looper each earned 2 awards each, while Big, Bjerg, and 14 others picked up a single honor this week. Now, if we switch over to the split-wide leaderboards, you see that Frog and Someday and Xmithy are neck and neck at 4 accolades each, with players like Looper and Sneaky close behind at 3 POGs.
And that is definitely not what you would expect to be the situation. Froggen, obviously a great player. Smithy, a bit of a surprise. Even Someday a little bit, given the fact that heading into the season, Dignitas was, the 6th place team last split.
Right,
struggling.
It wasn't previously him who was, garnering all the wins for Dignitas. A little bit more of a struggle in spring and really opening up here in summer.
Where's TSM? Where's CLG? A lot of these guys who you think would be in the front of these, player of the game standings aren't there to be seen at the very top.
I think what's interesting for me there is, again, Froggen is no surprise, but the fact that both Froggen and Looper have 7 accolades, so are both up there in the top echelon together, player of the games, really speaks to where Echo Fox is finding their success in terms of the fact that Looper has stepped up to and sometimes be a secondary carry for that team.
Especially with the meta kind of changing to things like the Jace, the Kennen, you can play Fiora. There's a lot of different stuff you can do. And he had a couple crazy split push games when he was on things like that Kennen, taking it to a Seraph, I believe, who he really abused once or twice.
Now, 6 more weeks to rack up those Player of the Game awards. The NALCS also hits another milestone this weekend as veteran Cloud9 bot laner Sneaky has hit 1,000 total regular season kills. 1,001 actually, as he just barely eclipsed it. He joins the likes of Wild Turtle and Doublelift for the players who've hit that benchmark. Again, we talked about him. For me, the story of Sneaky is his consistency as an AD carry from his, joining the LCS years ago to where he is now. He's very much embodied the role of an AD carry, not necessarily a star, but he's always there and he's always servicing a victory.
There's nothing more you could really ask of him. Does he need to be the super lane dominant player pulling tons of resources to the team? No, he's always had someone else who's able to fulfill that role in this team, and he does exactly what they need him to do, as well as you would never hear a bad thing about this guy behind the scenes either. A lot of players, he might have a bit of an ego, this or that. You see Sneaky, he's just such a troll the entire time.
Exactly. He is who you see there on the stage very much. So it's funny, even in that interview, he's joking about the fact, he's like, well, I probably would like to get more kills, but we're handing them over to Jensen constantly. I mean, Jensen, by the way, racking up some crazy kill numbers so far this split. Now, though, it's time to pull up the standings to see how teams finished in Week 3. Team Dignitas, Immortals, and Counterlogic Gaming continue their hold of first place, while Echo Fox and Cloud9 drop to 5th at 3-3, followed by FlyQuest and Team Liquid, who will try to bounce back from 8th in Week 4. Meet us back here Friday for more North American LCS. It all starts with a battle for first place as Xmithy's Immortals takes on Afro Moo's Counterlogic Gaming. That'll be a very exciting one, followed by Phoenix One looking for their first win against Echo Fox. In that series, Immortals versus CLG, how you feeling about that one?
I mean, you got to talk about the junglers, right? They were the ones who traded out. Both of them at the top of the standings now, a trade that worked out phenomenally for both teams, and now they really get to kind of prove that, like, I'm the guy who's in charge now, and I'm going to make my team better than yours. It's going to be a great jungle matchup.
I'm very excited for it. We have to wait a full week to get it, though. You came out today on Twitter to call out your big plays of the weekend, and here are just a few replays we couldn't resist. Brought to you by Acer. Our first tweet comes from Trichromatic, who pointed out the Xmithy special. You've fallen for one of the classic blunders. Never go for a 50 Baron against Xmithy. Take a look.
C9 actually in a pretty precarious spot. Xmithy gets strung, propels force down, he goes into the pit though, pumps the zone, just buying time, damage still there, but Xmithy, oh my god, he stole it! C9 not able to take him down, and Immortals are going to save the game.
That was a thing of beauty from Xmithy, one of the best Baron steals you will see.
I'm gonna try to go in. Can you go in, Eugene?
Not really.
I got it. Run.
Wow. Let's go.
Run.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Thank God.
Thank you, God, referring to Xmithy.
Someone else got confused and said thank God. They were specifically referencing Smith.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love that. Repel into Zhonya's into Flash, then Q, execute with the smite. Beautifully done. Gotta respect the composure that is displayed by that veteran on the stage. Up next, Broken Madness Sue joined us in celebrating Cloud9 Sneaky's 1,000th kill. Here it is.
Context now into the front line. A sneak and a rampage. There it is. Kill number 1,000. Hey, congratulations, Sneaky. Too much damage on the balls, and he ends up going down to that arrow. Look at that, very nice snipe. Stylish 1,000th kill, I have to say, for Sneaky.
Again, and congratulations to him. And finally, Yaka asked, did Ryu just a penta? That's not written correctly. Did Ryu just get a penta? Nice! That seems like an appropriate way to sum up a Taliyah penta kill. Here, take a look.
Now we're going to see yet another one. The root and the lockdown onto Big seals his fate, and that's a freebie for Phoenix 1. Now Dignitas in retreat as P1 looks to make it even more. locked down and beat up as Shrimp gets himself in a spot where he's not going to be doing a whole lot more. 2 for 2 so far. Someday in the middle of the fight, Arrow going to be taken very low. Shrimp still looking to find the kill. A triple kill, though, for Ryu as Shrimp gets himself killed. Only left alive. 1 versus 2. I don't know if it's going to work out too well today. Trying to get himself gone, but he is going nowhere but right back to the spawn platform.
Oh, he got it!
Pentakill for Ryu.
Holy bear! A pentakill with Taliyah in a 5v5 mid-game where the gold is very, very
20
low.
minutes!
Look, you want me to TP behind? I can TP here.
Hey, this guy.
We're going. Kill him. I'm TPing here. I have ult.
Let's go. Ash side. Ash is slow. Ash.
Break the wall? Oh, fuck.
Ash dead.
Can you break the wall? Where the fuck is my guy going? Oh.
Hey, we're on driving.
I'm so late.
Shrimp.
At least.
Kill.
How do you go?
Yeah, we win this.
Penta. Keep the penta.
Okay.
Well, don't let him kill you. Don't let him kill you.
Yeah, don't let him kill you. Slow. Penta. Slow. Okay, nice.
I go bot.
Good job.
That's amazing. Arrow, slow.
It's
Give him the
it's
penta.
okay, yeah.
We'll get it.
You saw at the very end.
Taliyah has got to be one of the strangest champions to pick up a penta, especially prior to 20 minutes.
It's just like not this like super high DPS, not super high burst, so it's not like, oh, you wombo people and then clean them up.
Right, well, it also is a champion that, like, you can't really get to the backline super easily. Most of her DPS is coming from the repetitive Q spam. I mean, yeah, you have the ability to seismic shove for some burst damage. Anyway, very impressive that they're able to come away with that pentakill. We'll see if we get some more throughout the split. Make sure to keep calling out those big plays all split long, and we'll share those tweets as we see them. Now for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and stick around after the show for some NALCS Tonight with myself, Zyrene, and Kobe. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for more league action. Good night.
We're about to embark in our first series of the day as the Immortals take on Team Liquid.
Cody's son very low. That might even kill him right off the W.
Oh my god, Olay! That was a disgustingly good flash!
Just base.
Bobby?
Oh, nice. We got him. Nice.
Nice.
Kill. Move forward. Go, kill all, keep. I'm gonna base. Woo! Let's go, baby. Push.
Go mid. The stage is set for our first series as Team Liquid will go up against TSM. Oh, he hooked her. Oh, right on the edge. Gets the dance out. Still going to flip. One last shot. It's the flash forward from Piglet. Gets wiped out by the Ignite from Biofrost. He goes down as well. And we'll see Doublelift enter the fight. He's got Lurlo, though. He was hitting the tank. They don't even decide to go back for him. Doublelift still has enough.
Oh damn, TSM Doublelift does not have an MSI icon.
This is the NA has no more first seed at Worlds icon.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
I'm playing a long con anyway.
It's the long con.
He's not going to die anytime soon. They've got to kite away. There's a Peacemaker made, and now Stixay in a 1 versus 2 turtle. He landed a headshot. He landed the net.
He's dead. Hey guys, Ash, flash in. Ash, flash. I'm coming. Ash, right there.
Don't let him kill you. Don't let him kill you.
Yeah, don't let him kill you. Slow, Penta, slow. Okay, nice. I go by. Good job.
Gets eaten up by Smoothie. Jensen still looking for Smoothie with an insane cocoon. There's the shutdown, double shot back for Pobelta, and Curdy rips the rest of the team apart. That's the initiation, is the final health comes through. Carrion goes down, a huge hit from Svenskeren to start things off.
They're trying to outplay here. They still have an ability to do so. They have the mana arrow burning down.
One more hit'll get him.
Stixay's got the shot.
Yo, he's low. He can kill Tom and get the ulti. Yo, Tom. Right here. Both their carries. Tom, out of there. Tom, no flash. I'm in, Tom. I lock it. Just go. Hey, keep flash. Go.
Down bottom, Cloud9 are looking to play.
Another great Olaf turtle making a rooted up into the stunner as Lando to elimination. He exploits the spell. Who's going to be the next one? Sneaky with an easy double kill. Conduct now into the front line. A sneak out of Rampage. There it is. Kill number 1,000.
Hey, congratulations, Sneaky.
The team fight comes in. It's going to be big damage in. They've got the fire damage across the lights to keep it up for a little bit longer. And look at the kills coming from.
Play Lucian. Lucian can kill. Nice. Let's go, baby.
Nice.
Comfort died. Can we end? Victor's here. Just kill Victor. He's low.
Big damage to this one, but Lot able to kite back so easily. Petrifying Gaze takes down a kill, and is just now Shrimp going to chase down the frog. That's the ace. That's the game, and it's all over. Team Dignitas will keep their first place tie. They will take down Echo Fox 2-1.